Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm not going to admit, I must admit, I'm starting to like doing lives on Sundays. It's supposed to be like my day off, but I'm liking doing the lives on Sundays. So, yeah. I'm live. Not even going to make any excuses other than the fact that I really wanted to do a video. Actually, I recorded a video earlier and it just didn't satisfy the urge to demo something. So I did do a live. I recorded a video. It's going to release at 6 p.m. on SILAHOLICS Anonymous. It's on the differences between SVG and DXF. So that's going to be a good one. So make sure you go over and subscribe on SILAHOLICS Anonymous's YouTube channel if you are not already subscribed. Yeah, but even with recording that, it did nothing for me. I'm like, I want to go live. So here I am. And I have these 5 and below journals, and I'm starting to plan some things out. And I wanted to have a smaller. I have a really big notebook next to my bedside. I actually want this one in the car. Sometimes I'm driving and stuff like that, and I'll have like little ideas, or like I'm out and about in the store. Mostly I'm driving, but I mean, I may stop and type something out or write something down if I'm at a light. But sometimes I'm out and I don't have my notebook. And even though I have my phone, and I could, jot stuff down in there, it's just something about actually writing stuff down that works for me and kind of keeps it where I remember about it. So I said, I'm going to put this journal in the car. So I'm going to make this one because I want to put it in the car today. So, because tomorrow we're out and about, just in case the spirit moves me and I have an idea, I'll have a journal in the car. So I'm going to show you guys the template that I created, how you would set this up, and also print this on an Epson 2720. I am going to use the tacky paper just to show you guys how to use that. And even though it's not really a roll, I'm still going to show you like from the roll, and then we're going to press it and using a pressing pillow. So my little tips and tricks for doing these faux journals and things like that. All right. So if this is something that you're interested in, stick around for a few with me, share it out, tag a few people in this video. I am going to let this one ride out because it's a Sunday. So I am going to let this one kind of ride out over on Facebook. So tag a friend, tag a friend, tag a friend. Tell them, let's come learn some things. We're going to do a little bit of Silhouette Studio as well as some sublimation. All right. This is the time where I normally share out. Yes, you see my the opening banner. You hear my voice. You don't see me. And that is because I leave this up as I do the intro, and I also share out and encourage you guys to share out as well. This just gives a reference point so that once I go live, like once it's like actually the meat and potatoes of it, if someone's watching the playback, they know if they want to, they can skip past seeing the banner. And once they see my screen or camera, they know that's where the meat and potatoes start. So if you are new here, this is how I start my videos. You'll always see the opening banner, especially when I am live, because the notifications go out at different times and it lets people know exactly what this is. Sometimes I'll get the, people come in, hey, what are we doing here? What is this video about? So by me leaving the banner up, it allows those who are coming in and trickling in as the notifications are going out for them to know exactly what we are going over in this particular live video. All right. So with that being said, I'm going to share this out again. Share, guys. That is the easiest and it's the most effective, and it is free 99 support for what I do over here on SILAHOLICS Anonymous, and honestly speaking, to help other creatives be just creative for their own personal like hobbies or just recreation, or if you desire to turn your passions into profit and make it a side hustle or a business. I am here to help in any way that I can in showing you how to utilize Silhouette Studio for your graphic design needs. Yes, there are other programs that you can use, but Silhouette Studio is a pretty decent graphic design software. I like it. Actually, I love it when it wants to act right. And I try to encourage other people to use it because technically it is free, or you can get the upgrade for as low as like $60. If it's on sale, people have gotten it for like $48, $45 for the highest upgrade. So it's a really good program to get into for graphic designing, and being able to size and add things to it and things like that. All right, I have done all of that, and guess what? I still didn't share it, but it's okay. If you guys can share for me, someone share it to my Silaholics Anonymous group, Honestly Speaking group. If you guys could share that for me so that I can go ahead and focus on getting started. All right, we're going to jump into Silhouette Studio first. That's going to be our first stop. And then we're going to go to the printer and then to the heat press. How are you guys doing? Drop a hey, how you doing? If this is your first time here, welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me know that you are a first timer and where you are watching from. If this is not and you are a subscriber or you like and follow me on Facebook, thank you so much for the support and joining me today. All right, I've already kind of designed this up. I'm nothing like too fancy. Have a background. My saying for our paper, it's not just ink release for me and just our logo, just so that it's just, just different ideas. I just put that on the back just to really create something. And then my name on the spine. And then the front says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not only for your own understanding. So that's what I have here. I am kind of different when it comes to templates and how I do things. Some people will not go through all of this, and that's fine. There is no right or wrong way to set up a template. It's what you are comfortable with, how detailed you want to be. But for me, I am very, very detailed in how I set things up and how I want it to look. So when I'm creating a template, I am creating it. I'm measuring everything out. I'm going to pull this off to the side real quick, just so that you can see how this is set up. And this will be one of the lessons for my academy, and just going over understanding measurements and how you can use different things to set it up. So if you are a member of my academy under doctorate, bachelor's, or master's, this will be in the design vault pretty soon here, because I actually recorded this part as well. But the way that I have it set up, I did all of the measurements to where this outside line is like the true edge of the, oh, I did that wrong. Not really, but I kind of did. So it should actually be a bleed. So this is the true edge of the notebook that I am going to use. So of course I measured it out. I have created myself a measuring guide. So when you have those little notches on the ruler, I always kind of I don't try to remember that. I refer back to my little measurement thing that I have. I posted in the group before, and I have it. If it has 8 notches, if it has 16, it tells you what the decimal should be. So I don't try to remember that. So I set that up. I did an internal offset because that's where the stitching is. And then I did the measurement for the front half and the back half. And then this is my spine. I also did measurements for where the notes part is, and I just kind of made it a dashed line so that I know where that word note is. If I were going to put a full design on it, and let's say it had a picture, I would want to make sure that, it's not cutting off in someone's eye or a very important part of the background. So I put that there just as an indicator of where that will be. And so that's kind of how I set it up. And it made it to where I could center anything on the front. I can center that to that section, you know, inside of the stitches. I'm able to put something right on the spine of it, and then my background graphic as well. So I'm very, very technical and detailed when I do templates. It can be a bit much, but once you really understand Silhouette Studio, you understand how to effectively make templates. It's a breeze to make. It took me in like no time. You guys will see in the course how it really did not take a lot of work or effort to create a template like this. But I did realize I just realized I messed up. I put no bleed on this because this is going to go edge to edge as far as that background. You never want to make your template edge the exact same size as the substrate that you're going to put it on. It needs to be bigger than that or wider. So once you got to go and you do get your exact measurements, you are going to want to click on that one and do an offset. Oops, wrong one. Offset. Because you want to have that extra space to make sure if your paper's off just a little bit, you won't have like white space. Normally 0.12, anywhere from 0.125. Some things like all over shirts, people will go like a half an inch, a full inch out. For this one, because it is kind of rounded, and I did, because I just measured this one, I didn't scan it. I'm going to go up to 0.1. Yeah, let's go up to 0.25 just to be on the safe side. Well, actually, that will put me outside of my print zone. So let's take that down to 0.15. Okay, so 8.5. It's still, it'll be outside of the margin, but that's okay. And then what I want to do is select, I'm going to copy what's here, like this one. So I'm going to go copy. I'm going to drag and select that outside edge and that inside one. And I'm just going to go weld just so that it can fill it all the way in. It does this little weird thing because these were made for tumblers, so it doesn't quite fill it in. I'm going to come over here to my fill pattern and go to, instead of stretch, I'm going to go to maintain, and that will fill that out. And if it didn't, I can always adjust my scale, but it did fill that out for me. I'm going to send that to the back so I can see all of my other elements. Oh, wait, did I do the wrong one? Hold on. Wait, what is this one? Wait, I think I did the wrong one. Hold on. Oh, because I dragged and select. Okay, hold on. Let's go back. I'm going to come here and I'm just going to select from here and weld and then go to there. There we go. So I can still, I was like, why don't I still see my boxes? But I am going to paste in front that box I created. I'm going to remove the color and I'm going to make that a dash line just so that I know that that is the edge of my notebook. So that if I were putting like pictures or something on this, I know that anything that's outside of that dash purple, which let's make that a different color so we can see, anything outside of this dash neon green line really will not be on it. So I still like to have the edge of my substrate and to identify the edge of my substrate, but you must have a bleed. All right, so another little kind of like tip trick is I wanted to have this background. It's a watercolor. It can be busy with the words that are here. So I have a white box that I created. So you can see what that looks like there. It's not bad, but that can be kind of hard on the eyes to read. Also, where this is white here, I left it white so that no color prints in there in that area. And then it's going to end up being, it's going to show the actual journal in that section instead of it being the background. I'm going to undo. So I have that white box and then you take the transparency down on it so that you can still see the design through it. So that would be solid. Don't want that. I still want to see the background through there, but it is just enough to where it makes the top stand out, but I can still see the background, and it just is easier on the eyes. And so I kind of also put a shadow on it so that it framed it out and it kind of pushes it up where it's almost like it's 3D. So those are some little tips and tricks when you're designing to separate your background from your front image if you're doing something like this. This is a technique that's used often in like programs for, a lot of times for funeral programs and things like that. When you have a background and you want the obituary part and to have the words, but not have it where it's hard to read, this is a technique that's used often when it comes to that. All right, and so this is just going to be a straight solid white. I don't know, should I? Yeah, because I don't really want to have that busy background behind like the logo part. So that's just going to be the journal part there, because printers don't print white. All right, so that's that. That's everything that's set up. I took my name and just put Shakia, Professor Lavelle Pericles, on the spine. So when I set this up, that's going to sit right there on the spine of this particular notebook. And now I'm ready to print. So I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to set my design page. My width is going to be, I could rotate this, but this would be a good like teaching experience. I mean, teaching opportunity also. So naturally, this is a note, like this is going landscape, right? So naturally, I would want to go 11 and then 8.5 so that it goes and prints this way. If you wanted just to print like with your regular settings, you would have to select this and you would have to rotate it. You can hold down Shift and rotate it and it will snap to 90. Or you can go over to your transform panel, go over to rotate, and then rotate it to 90 degrees. So that would be up to you and how you do that. But I'm going to take it back to 0. Ooh, whoa, undo. All right, we're going to just take it back to here. And I'm going to go center to page. So it's centered right on here. And that's what I said. I knew it was going to be bigger than the paper, technically. I'm going to... Let me see. I'm going to bring this down some. And the good thing about me having that indicator, I know you guys can barely see it, but there is a print border here and it's right there, which means anything outside of that print border is not going to print. I need to bring this down. I do have some space down here because the print board is way down here. So I need to take this entire thing and pull it down some so that the edge of my journal is not right like to the edge of the print border, because I have to remember I do need a bit of bleed to make sure that it's a full coverage. So I'm just tabbing that down to where the edge of my journal is right before the page border. So I'm going to go up and verify the top that I'm within the print border. So I do have some bleed. Yep. All right. I'm good there. All right. And let's also move this over just a tad because I'm off on that side also. Okay. Now my print board is here. I know you guys probably can barely see it. It is currently set up for a portrait print, 8.5 by 11 instead of 11 by 8.5. If you want to change that, Mac, it's a little bit different, but for PCs, it's really easy to do. I'm going to go File, Print. I'm going to go to the printer that I'm going to print to, which is going to be my Epson 2720. I'm going to go to Preferences, and I'm going to set this to landscape. And then I'm going to hit OK, apply, and cancel. What this will do is adjust my print border to where it should be. Which did it go? Let's see. It is, wait, was my paper size bigger? Why did you not jump? Oh, I know why I didn't jump. For this one, I won't be able to do it because I'm going to use the roll paper. So the reason why it didn't jump, wait, before I do that, I want you to note where it is. So the edge of the print border right now is right here. So I'm going to go File, Print. I'm going to go to Preferences. I'm going to choose 8.5 by 11, and I'm going to go Landscape, OK, Apply, and Cancel. It should jump. Why didn't you jump? Okay, this is acting funky. Let me move this out of the way because that's not supposed to happen like that. Let's go File, Print, Preferences, Landscape, OK, Apply, Cancel. Why are you not jumping? That's so weird. Okay, let's go print. I wonder if it's a 2720 thing. I'm going to go Preferences, 8.5 by 11, Landscape, OK, Apply, Cancel. I have no idea why this is not shifting. File, Print. I'm just going to send it as, that's so weird. If you've watched other videos, you'll see that it will jump. It will switch the orientation of the print border, but for some reason it's not doing it now, and that's kind of weird. Let's see, let me just change it. I just want to just test something real quick. Okay, apply, cancel. Oh, wow. That's so weird that it's not adjusting. File, print, preferences, 8.5 by 11, landscape. Okay, I'm going to hit print because technically nothing's going to print. And for some reason, that's so weird. I wonder if it's a silhouette thing because it's supposed to jump. I'm going to go, look, this one is doing it. It moved, but over here, it refused to. So that was a weird silhouette glitch. Over here, it has switched. The print border is where it should be. That is so interesting. Glad I did think to open up a new one just to see. And sometimes that's what you'll have to do. Just open up a new design page to see if it is the design page, like if it's design, if Silhouette is having a glitch. And for some reason, it is glitching on this particular page because it is not switching. Let me go File, Print, Preferences, Portrait, OK, Apply, and Cancel. Let's see. Let me cancel this print. Okay, so I canceled that print. I don't know. Silhouette's acting crazy because now this one won't jump. But if I open up another one, let's see what happens. I don't know what Silhouette is doing. Print, Preferences, Portrait, OK, Apply, and Cancel. I have no idea why it is not saving the setting. That is so interesting. If I go back, went back to landscape. Alrighty then. So for some reason, it's only working if you actually send a blank page to print, which is kind of weird, but hey. All right, I'm going to hit cancel on this one and cancel just to be on the safe side because this is not switching. Let's go ahead and copy this. Well, actually, I can cut it and bring it over here. Paste. And I'm going to line this up Okay. I am not sure as to why this is. Oh, Shakia. My bad, y'all. What does that say at the bottom? That definitely says 11.425, not 8.5 by 11. That was the whole purpose of me doing this one, is to use the roll paper. I just sat here and I'm like, wait a minute, why is this not fitting? But that was me. And sometimes it happens. I'm like, why is it extra long? Because that says 11.425, Shakia, and not 11 inches. So my bad, y'all. My bad. The whole purpose of this was to use the roll paper, and I meant to actually put this at 12 so that it was longer. My bad. Now I'm going to select it all and center to page. There we go. I do still need to bring it down just a little. Alrighty. My bad. My bad. My bad. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just send this to print now. So we're going to go File, Print, and under Preferences, I'm just going to go over what my settings are. I'm going to use technically the roll paper, but I'm going to just cut it to 12 inches instead of 11. Technically, yes, I could do this with 8.5 by 14 inch paper, but I want to use the tacky paper, so I'm going to show you how to cut it down. And if I use 8.5 by 14, I would have wasted 2 inches. I only need 8.5 by 12 for this. I still at 47.24 inches. So for that, you go to user define. Here, you're going to type in 8.5. Your paper height will be 47.24. And you'll give it a name. So I have mine, HS Sub Roll 8.5 by 47.24. Even though I am only cutting off 12 inches, I still use that as the paper size. Plain paper, bright white. For quality, it's set to quality. You go to more settings to take it all the way up to quality. Nothing here in the middle section. Quiet mode is on. Under more options, I go to color corrections, go to custom, advanced, color controls, Adobe RGB 1.8, my density -5, and then hit OK. Under maintenance, oh wait, go back. High speed is checked for me. Mirror, of course, is checked under maintenance. Go to extended settings, thick paper and envelope, and my print density is -12 with the eco, like with this particular one. The eco tanks, I find that they put out way too much ink and they have a lot more pizza wheels. And if you don't, you'll get pizza wheels. So for me, -12 density puts down just enough ink to where it's not oversaturated and you'll get pizza wheels. And then I'm going to hit OK. I need to go back to my preferences real quick. So right now it's set to portrait. This would not print correctly. I need to make this landscape so that it does rotate the image. You cannot forget that part. If you are going to leave it where it is in landscape mode, you must make sure that you have landscape. If you want, you can create a preset. So I'm just going to go add or remove preset. I'm going to click on this one because it's the same roles, the same name. All I'm going to put at the end is landscape. And then save. Well, let's make it a different icon. All right, and then save and close it. So if I go to this one, it's in portrait. You see how that right there, it flips? That's in portrait. This goes to landscape. So if my design is in landscape, I want to use that preset. If you have just the regular one and you don't remember to go to landscape, your print is going to be cut off. So just be mindful of that. If you prefer to not deal with that at all, then you're going to set your design page up in portrait mode, take your design and rotate it to fit on there the correct way. Make sense? Hopefully that helps. All right. And we're going to hit OK. And then print. I'm going to switch over to the printer. All right. We're going to cut down my roll. Let's move this over here. I'm going to grab the roll. I like using my cutting mat or with the 8.5-inch roll. If you have a paper trimmer that's at least 8.5, like most of them are, like 12-inch trimmers for crafters, you can use that. Oh, you know what? Where is my memory keepers one? I could have used that one. Instead of using that, I'm going to use my We Are Memory Keepers trimmer. Oh, I forgot to turn on the light over here so you guys can see. Oh, that really didn't help. I don't know. I have to really fix the lighting in here. I was watching a YouTube video because the ring light is on, yet it did not affect how this Brio is processing light. Like that just put an unnecessary glare on the printer. All right. I'm going to open this up. You're going to feed it from this way. You're going to use a paper cutter. You're going to feed it in from the cut side so that you can drag it to the number that it needs to be on. So here, I'm going to put it through here. And pull it to the 12. So, normally you'll have your paper the other way to figure out where to trim it down to. But for this one, because it's on a roll, you would pull it in from the cut side, put it to the 12. Make sure that it is even on the top to make sure it's a nice straight cut. And then cut it down. The top side that you're cutting to is your print side. So that's the side you're going to put in the printer. Slide this up. So it'll curve like this. If you put it down, it should have a little bit of curve to it. And the top side, which it also has a rough feel. Oh, you guys probably can't hear me. I forgot my mic. I don't have my lapel on and my microphone was way over yonder. Sorry about that. So the top side is the print side. Okay. You're going to take this and put it in your rear feed. This particular unit does not have a tray, a paper tray. For these, it's all the rear feed. If you have one where you can put it in a front tray, you put it print side down. But from any of them that only have a rear feed, or if you're printing from the rear feed, print side goes up. You're going to slide it in there. Make sure that it touches the bottom. Okay, you can hold your hand there. If you feel like yours is rolling too much, you can hold your hand there. And then it's going to say, so for this one, because I changed the size, it does say paper size does not match your print settings. Confirm current settings. So you're going to hit OK. Then it'll tell you what this is set to. It is set to letter, plain paper. Continue printing, change setting, cancel printing. You're going to go down to change setting and then hit OK to proceed. And then it's going to say load same paper as selected in your print setting. So it's telling me to load my roll paper. And then the option is to print. And you're going to hit the little diamond one to go ahead and print. It's going to pull this at some point here. There we go. Oh, that was the first one that I did not cancel. So that was the one that was no ink when I was trying to change the setting. So that's that one. All right, so let's put this one back in and print. Now it's starting to print this particular design. All right. I'm going to go over to the heat press and show like the setup for this and my recommendation for using a pressing pillow and get it all set up. And then we will grab this one and take it over to the heat press. Actually, before I do that, let's go and see if there's any questions I need to answer. Okay, let's see. I'm a perfectionist too, and measure, and get really bummed when things are off. Yeah, that drives me nuts. Mine has been acting funky since last night. And someone else says it's silhouette. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Like it wasn't doing that. Mine was doing that earlier. I saved it, reopened it, and it worked. Yeah, so that's what I had to do to open up a new design page. That's crazy. I thought it was Mac acting crazy again. So we can see that that's a PC issue also. All right. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump over to, okay, wait. With the Eco Tanks, what's the difference in paper sizing? I wanted to order my first sublimation printer. So most of them and the size that you're going to get are going to be 8.5 inches wide. So this, the max print width is 8.5 inches wide. But with the roll paper, which we do sell on our website, shop.silaholics.com, you can print up to 47.24 inches long. On our website, we have a list of the printers that are only 8.5. For the wide format, it's like your 15,000, 16,600, 16,650. And then, of course, now the one that a lot of people are clamoring over, which I think it's overrated, the 8550. Those allow you to print 13 inches wide. So that would be your major difference in the printers. And then when it comes to the small format ones, there are a bunch of them on the market. And the difference is you would have to really go into it. I have a very detailed, it's a longer video, but it's a very detailed video going over all of the different Eco Tanks and what's the difference. For some of them, it is a matter of like the 2720 and the 3710 are the exact same printers. The only difference is, if I'm not mistaken, the 3710 does duplex. You don't need duplex printing with sublimation because you can't print to the back of it. The only difference between the 2720 and the 4700 is an automatic document feeder. So instead of having a flatbed scan, just a flatbed scanner, it has ones where you have a bunch of papers, you can put them all in there. So that is great for a small business office setting when you need to scan a bunch of stuff, but it is pointless for sublimation. So you're going to end up paying more for a 4700 for a feature that you don't even need because you can still scan with them. So you have to go through them. A lot of them, it's unnecessary like pricing for them. For features that you don't need, like fax or automatic document feed or duplex printing. For some of them, it'll look exactly the same. And it's the fact that like one has a higher resolution, but a lower print speed. The other one has a faster print speed, but the print resolution is lower. So you have to really look at the specs for the printers. The 2720 is the lowest model, lowest grade, or whatever you want to say for. Oh, and it's finished. For these printers where it's like no bells and whistles to it. And with this particular one, once the maintenance box is filled with ink from doing like the print head cleans, all those, this printer is pretty much trash at that point because they don't sell a maintenance box for this particular printer. Whereas with the other ones, some of the other ones, you can change out the maintenance box and extend the life of the printer. All right, so hopefully, great information. Hopefully that kind of answered that for you. All right, well, we're done over here, so we're just going to pull this off. Do this one on the top and bottom. It's barely, I forgot about the margin. So it's like barely a bleed on it. All right, so when you, this comes with a little notebook on the inside. I'm not sure where you can buy replacements for this once you kind of use all of these, but you probably can just use any, a lot of planners and stuff, and like companies that have like the planners, they'll have like the little inserts for this, and it just goes, well, either in there that way, or you can, because the writing's on the back, if you want it. There we go. So it's like this. You'll put this side in here. You can, I believe you can put this side over here, or it can be stored for like other stuff, but you can put both in there. And then just zip it. So that's how that's made. This piece comes out. You definitely want to take this piece out before, I don't think this actually came. I think this was just sitting like that, but you want to take that out before you press it. When you're looking at this, there is a significant dip in it. If your heat press doesn't have even pressure, it is going to make getting a nice even print on this very, very hard because of the difference in pressures, especially with the zippers. Really good heat presses that have even pressure, it won't be an issue. You won't need extra help. But I'm going to mimic this based off of what the average heat press may be. And some people may not have a Hotronix, which is a beast of a heat press. Everyone doesn't have this. So I'm going to do this based off of just your average heat press. One, slowly take off the sticker on the back. And you want to use some sort of pressing pillow. This is one I got from Amazon, so it's already wrapped with basically a Teflon sheet. You're going to have to put this down and then a barrier sheet such as parchment paper, butcher paper, regular copy paper, a piece of cardstock, anything just to get the extra ink. Because we're doing a full bleed, there's going to be extra ink. You have to have that go somewhere. You don't want it to go on your Teflon. You don't want it to go on your heat press. So on top of your pressing pillow is where you would put your barrier sheet, which I'm going to go ahead and cut mine down. To place underneath this. I have to cut mine. I took the little thingies off because Ziny Money likes to touch stuff. So for the sake of the little one, I took off the little teeth. And you're going to put this down. What the pressing pillow is going to do is it's going to help, like, okay, so if I push it down, you see how it digs into it. So all of that extra bulk will kind of, like, the thought process is, and how it's supposed to work is that's supposed to kind of dip down where it's going to give you a nice flat surface in order to press to. This zipper can be a little, aggravating. You can either press it to where the zipper hangs off of your heat press and your journal is like right to the edge. If you have it here and you have the bleed, that ink will get on it because this is made from the same material as this. So if you want this to maintain white, you can try and tuck it. It may affect because that's going to sit much higher. If you're going to leave it out, you may want to consider covering that with heat tape. As long as you have non-marking heat tape, it's not going to leave a yellow mark. Cover that with some heat tape so that you don't get the ink on the zipper and that stays white. If you don't have a pressing pillow, yesterday I showed when I was in Joann's and they have the green foam. You can use it as well. You can either cover it or not cover it, but just make sure that you do put your barrier sheet down. So that's kind of just how you set this up. Now with this print, we're going to make sure that we're putting this the right way. And I'm going to, because I have the spine here, I'm going to make sure that I'm nice and centered and put my name right on that spine and then open it up and just kind of check everything. I have bleed on the sides, like I have enough bleed on the sides. The top and bottom, it's like right, when I tell y'all this right to the edge, it is right to the edge because it is like a little over, it's like 8.25. And then once you account for the margin, and you know, you're skirting right on the edge. Luckily, this is a design where there are kind of like lighter areas. If this was something that was really dark, I would be worried that, you know, you would notice it. If you're doing a full bleed, again, it's going to be a very tight fit. Can you do borderless with an Epson printer, like the wide formats? If you're going to use 8.5 by 11 paper, yes. With the 2720, not sure if you noticed on the print settings, there is no borderless option. You cannot print borderless with this particular printer. So you are, you know, stuck with the margins that are there. All right, just so that this stays in place. This is where having different sizes of heat tape comes in handy, because a thinner piece of heat tape, it is not going to help on this. It is going to come off. You want a thicker heat tape. Even with my 1 inch, that may not even do it. I'm going to grab my 2 inch or 3 inch. I don't even know which size this one is, but it's a wider one. So I'm going to grab this one and cut a good piece off. If you use the thinner ones, they're going to pop off. And as soon as you flip it over, that's going to come off. This is going to give you more surface space as far as the adhesive, and it's not going to move. Now, if you also want to kind of be on the safe side with flipping it, you can. Now, you can either tape your journal down to the paper, or if you want, you can go underneath, or you can actually do like tape both, but you can put your tape underneath and then put your butcher paper on top and then flip the whole thing. So I'm going to kind of sort of do both. So I'm going to get it to my journal or my notebook. Nice little healthy piece. Actually, I can probably flip it. I was going to tape it down to this, but I think with this one, I can't flip it. If you're using a thinner tape, put the tape underneath there and then kind of press it down. That way, once you flip it, it will flip with it. Or just put it on top and flip it like that. Let's rotate this because I want that to hang off. And I'm on my pressing. Oh, crap. I forgot to check my pressure. You want to check your pressure first. So I did all of that for nothing. We're going to remove this first. I completely forgot to check my pressure because I was pressing some other stuff. Always want to check your pressure. Because of the material that this is made up of, cover it. I could have covered it with this one just to check the pressure, but I just cut another piece. So you want to check your pressure, cover it up so that it doesn't, the heat doesn't like stick to it. Okay, that's too much. I'm going to turn my knob. For me, my heat press, my pressure, once I turn the knob, the entire top platen moves up. Other heat presses are different to where it's like an arm or something. But for me, my entire one moves up away from it. And that is going to decrease the pressure because it's not so close to the item. So I'm going to go like that. That's still a lot of pressure. And I have a pressing pillow underneath there. So I have to account for that also. Okay, so that's not bad. It's a 4, but anything higher, I have a pressing pillow, so it's not going to, oh, I already had ink from this on there. That kind of sucks. So that's why you want to press it before. Some of the ink from here had already kind of transferred over onto this. All right. And that also helps kind of flatten that out by doing the pre-press. So I'm going to, I'm about to put this on wrong. Put this like this. Like literally right up to the edge. Check my spine. Make sure my name is centered. Put my heat tape back down. Flip it. And it's on my pressing pillow. I'm going to go ahead and close that and press it with our sublimation paper, 30 seconds. Is the template for sale? No, I will go and teach my students how to use it, but no, I don't. That template is not for sale. All right. Now with tacky paper, it does stick, so it is an adhesive. So it's going to stick to it, but it's not like it's not where like, okay, the paper stuck to it. With this particular paper, it's supposed to stick. It is a tacky paper, which will help prevent ghosting, like on shirts and things. It won't shift. So it is going to stick to it. And because this is faux leather, it will have like a little extra stick to it. So we're just going to peel back slowly with this. And you want to kind of move. I should have done it while it was hot, because with this tacky paper, it is going to stick. I'm going to have to like peel it off in sections because it is tacky paper. It naturally sticks to fabrics and things, but it's not going to ruin it. It's not going to be stuck on there. It's just the tacky paper combined with the fact that this is faux leather where paper would naturally stick to this anyway. It's going to appear as if it's stuck to it, but I promise you it will come off. Even if you have to use a little bit of water to get it off, it will come off. But it will peel off. Don't be alarmed if you use the tacky paper on these. Just try and get it off before it completely cools. This is tacky paper. It's meant to stick to the fabrics. It's just that this being faux leather, papers would naturally stick to this anyway. Like some people have it when they're doing these with regular sub paper, because when this when this gets heated, it's almost like the material of it kind of melts too, and it will stick to your paper, and that will just be stuck to it. I probably could have gotten away with doing this at like 20 seconds so that it didn't stick so much. But if you're using regular paper, be mindful of the temperature that you use, because it will naturally, like I said, stick to papers once heated. I'm going to use a little bit of water to get the rest of the paper off, because now it has cooled and it's a lot harder to get it off once it has cooled. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit of water to get it off. Just as soon as I figure out where my water bottle went. Where did my water bottle go? All right, I don't see my water bottle, so I'm going to use a Clorox wipe or Lysol wipe just to kind of get that started and wipe that off. Because I can't find, I just need something with moisture to it. The color isn't going to come off. This is sublimation, so you don't have to worry about it coming off. Sub ink is not affected by bleach or water or things like that, so I'm just going to wipe that down. You just need something to wet the paper to push it off. Can't tell because there's like white spots. I'm trying to remember. We'll see what's white spots and what's the actual paper. Oh, see, yeah, that's, I'm snipping going there, but that's actually a white from the design. That's not paper. So now it's all done. So my name is perfectly on the spine because of the template. So my name is perfectly there. Oh, a little bit there. This, I made it to where it was not, you know, knowing where this is. So it's strategically right below the word notes. And then on this side, because of the template, this is perfectly centered inside here. I was a little bit off right here where I was trying to avoid my box being on the seams, but this is perfectly centered between like this space and then this space. So for if you're like a perfectionist like me and you want things to look a certain way and not kind of eyeball it, I like templates like this to where I know exactly where it's going to fit at. Okay, and then we'll just put the notebook, the notepad back inside. So this is now going in my car for me to write notes and stuff on the go. All right, if there are any questions, I will answer those. Really? Really? Really, Tanya? Really? Let's see. Joyce, I see yours. Due to, you know, a mention of a different ink brand, we can't put your comment on screen. However, I don't have that printer. I don't know if like of certain settings. So I'm not sure if you are going by that particular ink vendor's settings. For our paper, it's not about the ink. It's more so about the paper. And we have print settings that we have set forth for our paper. Other companies, they will tell you to use premium presentation paper matte. This was printed on plain paper setting. Do you see how those colors look? There is no color loss with this. It is not going to be less vibrant. This is printed with plain paper, bright white quality setting. So if you're experiencing smearing, it's probably because you went by the ink vendor's recommendations and you use premium presentation paper matte or any of those settings. The way that our paper is made, it does not require all of that ink. It is going to release just using plain paper setting, and you're going to get full color saturation with those settings. So I would recommend visiting my YouTube channel, Honestly Speaking, and then, or in YouTube search, Honestly Speaking print settings. And there is an updated setting, like an updated video for that. But I'll also put it in the comments of this video to make it a little bit easier. Now, after this, though, once the video is done, it doesn't allow, like, the live chat won't show immediately. So you'll have to kind of click on that to at least have it in your history and then come on back. But this is the link for our print set, our updated settings and my recommended settings. Now, I do not know how the 8550 is set up, if they have the same exact settings, if they have thick paper and envelope, or how that looks. But for the most part, Epson's settings really look the same once you put your driver, once you install your driver. So see if these settings will work for you and if it will kind of prevent that smearing, okay? No, you don't need to spray a sealant on this. This is sublimation. So with if you're not familiar with sublimation and what it is, sublimation is a process where you are like literally dyeing the substrate, whether it's a shirt, if it is something like this phone case, it is embedded in the actual substrate. If it's a tumbler, if it's a mug, okay, here we go. So with this mug, this is not going to come off. It heats it up and it kind of opens the pores of the polymers. And then as it cools down, it's locked in there. Now, if you heat this back up, you can release that gas again and you can lose color, which is why a lot of people are doing the whole, wait, where is my cup? It's not in here. I have a cup that was messed up and I put it back in the oven. So people will tell you to reheat up your messed up tumbler to lighten the color on it. Because once you heat it back up, you are opening those pores back up and that gas will come out of it. And this ink is not ink, it's gas. So if you're releasing the gas from it, it's going to appear to be lighter. So this is permanent on here. There's no need to ever seal this. So it's not like a sticker or vinyl or anything like that. It is embedded into the polyester of this faux leather. This particular notebook came from 5 and Below. It took me a while to find this because when Patrice did them before, they didn't have the white because we were supposed to do it on crafts and combos. They had a yellow as well as the rose gold. You can still technically sublimate to this, but the color of this will affect the final output. So like something like this, because it's black here, I could take something that was black and sublimate it to, ooh, you know what? Let's do this. Y'all want to do that? I can take like this, trust in the Lord with all the hardly understanding. I can take that in black and put that right here. I can put my name in black. So I can do things like that. If I put anything color on here, it will affect the way, it will affect the color output because ink is translucent. So this color will turn this, like it will not look like this because it is a rose gold. Can you tell me the difference? Tell me if wait, can you tell me if it's different on a Chromebook? So you cannot use Silhouette Studio on a Chromebook because that doesn't have an operating system that Silhouette Studio works on. You have to have Windows or the Mac soft operating system. You cannot use a Chromebook for Silhouette Studio. They don't have any on the site, so you won't be able to go online to order any, because I was trying to go on there just to get the picture for the thumbnail, and because they don't have any, you can't even look at the picture. They only have the black one. She says, yes, and I love it. I'm going to just use all of your products. And see, now you make me feel bad because I was like, I am not getting any gray ink, but if I have customers that want to use only my products, I have to kind of get the gray ink if you guys want to get that 8550 printer. So I'm like, I probably won't order a lot of it because that's not a very popular printer. And I just feel like that's a lot of money, unnecessary money for that, because Resolute, like that is a really great printer for printing photos and things. And you don't really need high resolution for sublimation. That is one of the things that people don't talk about. You don't need a printer that's going to print high resolution because of the sublimation process and how it works. Like, it's not a what you print is what you get type of deal. It goes through the sublimation process. It is released from that paper, that gas travels down and then binds to the polymer or polyester. So having a printer that has like this super, super great resolution, not very important for sublimation. That particular printer is made to have amazing resolution for photographs. Just because it can be converted, just because it's an eco tank, doesn't mean that it should. That's a lot of wasted money. Like, if you are someone who wants to make posters, if you want to make like chip bags, labels, Capri Sun, and you want like an amazing print, I can then see maybe making that investment if you're into like those types of things, doing posters, using it for your graduation fans, your fat heads, your centerpieces. It's going to give you an amazing resolution, amazing color. But for sublimation, it's just a waste. Like, that's a lot of money when there are so many other EcoTank printers that cost less and will give you the same output without having to purchase a gray ink. Yes, I did some of these earlier this year when the hunt was on for the notebooks. Some people had issues with their ink rubbing off. Mine never did. Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, that's what she was saying. Do it, do it. Someone said, yes, do the other book in black. So that would be a good teaching one too. Even if I only put this in the front, I am still going to press the entire thing. Reason for that is, once you press this, it affects the texture of it. So this has more of a faux leather, like you can feel the texture. Once you press it, it flattens out. And then just like anything else, it's not forgiving. If you are going to put a design only in the center of this, you still need to cover the entire thing. If you cut the paper down for something in the middle, you're going to see the line of demarcation. It is going to dig into it, and there is no repressing it to get rid of that line. It will be embedded in there. So even with doing just the front, you're going to want to do the entire, cover the entire thing. Even if you don't put anything there, you want to use the whole paper so that one, the finish is even. Two, you don't see any lines of demarcation. It needs to cover the entire thing. All right, so let's go ahead and do that then. She says, very unnecessary printer, just purchased it because they didn't have the 15,000. Yeah, I guess if you have to, like if you really need it because you can't find the one that you want. But I'm a workforce kind of gal. I am workforce. I am cartridge-based printers all day, every day. If something were to go wrong, it is a whole lot easier to switch out a cartridge for a workforce printer than to lose all the ink that's in these wide, like the 15,000, 16,600. If those printers mess up, baby, that ink is going to Epson and you're going to have to buy it again. Epson is not going to send you back sublimation ink. They're going to send you back dye ink. So all of that is gone just with fixing it. If you have broken lines, you have to do the power clean. That wastes a lot of ink, where with the workforce, if you have an issue, watch my video, how to push air, do that, get a little bit of ink out, you're good to go. It's just, I've had to help way too many people with eco tanks. And I'm like, this is a headache. I mean, it's easy to set up, but the upkeep and the maintenance of it, honey, it's a headache. I don't see why people love eco tanks. So I don't know if it will be good for pigment ink. The color profile, of course, will be very much so different because it is all dye ink, except for the one photo black. Everything else is dye ink. So I'm not sure how it, I mean, you can, of course, put pigment ink in it, but your color output would be a little bit different without an ICC profile. All right, so let's go ahead and go back over to Silhouette Studio, and I'm going to make this. So this is all like this. I'm going to just make a duplicate. Oh, wait, why didn't you duplicate? So we're just going to make a duplicate, and we're going to select everything that's here, actually. Pull this down, and ooh, I think I want to do HSINK. So let's delete this. We're going to oh no, wrong way. Hold on. Undo. I need to ungroup. And dang it. Ungroup again. Delete that. Select everything. Make it a compound path. There we go. I want it in all black. This, we're going to put no color. Black. And I'm going to use my 8.5 by 14 inch paper for this one instead of the roll. This looks crazy in black. Why? Oh, wow. That looks, wait, does it look like that in white? Actually, it does. Oh, wow. That looks crazy as all get out in black. Wow. Oh, wow. That looks crazy. I didn't realize that this file was this jacked up. Interesting. This file is not cute in black because you get to see all of the whoa. Oh, wow. There's gaps right here. Oh, wow. And I didn't even pay any attention when it was all white. But this file is jacked up. Oh, wow. Look at all these gaps. Okay, y'all, I can't do this one because, oh, Lord, that'll be too much to correct. Oh, my God. What the heck? Man, I did not see all of that when it was in white. Jesus. All right, I need to put something else on here because I don't feel like this will be a really, really long video if I attempt to correct this. Let's see. Let's go file open. All right, let's make this blank. And, well, actually, let's make the entire thing black. And let's offset 0.0. 0.05. Apply, hold down shift, select, and subtract all. All right, copy, paste. Oh, all right, so okay, y'all gonna see me. All right, so you know how it says notes right here, right? So I'm gonna write take note. I'm gonna make it where it says I'm gonna put it above notes, and then it's gonna put, I'm gonna do here, I'm doing, no, so take notes. I'm gonna put I'm, and then doing boss things, making boss moves. Haha. So let's find a font. Or just, I might just do take notes and then just put doing boss things. But now I gotta find a font. Haha, that worked out kind of cool. I like this font, but it's so thin. But then it competes with this one. So let's change that. I don't even remember what font this is, so I can't even make it match because I don't remember what font it is. Ooh, I think I like that one. And I can have it come right over the edge like that. Take notes. Doing boss things, making boss moves, boss lady. And then I'll put my HSINK at the back. And we're gonna, okay, so I'll show you the other way. So if you wanted to set this up, I'm gonna go 8.5 by 14. I would rotate this whole thing 90 degrees. Ooh, come on. Got to group it together. So group it, rotate it 90 degrees, and then position it. And then we're going to go File, Print Preferences. I'm just going to change this to 8.5 by 14, which is legal. And I'm going to choose print. Well, okay. And oh, well, nope. Preferences. It was in landscape. I needed to go. See, this is why I need to stop playing and go back to my actual settings. So we're going to go to here, and legal, because I need it to be in portrait. Okay. And print. And I need to load this with 8.5 by 14 paper. Ooh, do I even have 8.5 by 14 in the office? Let's see. Do I? I don't think I do. I don't think I have 8.5 by 14 in here. I told a big fat fib. I do. All right. Let's switch over to this cam. It's a brand new bag, but so with this, same thing. Rough side is your print side. You're going to put your print side in your rear feed. I'm going to lift up the back so that it has something to rest on. It's going to give me a paper mismatch again. So I'm just going to hit proceed, go down to change setting, hit OK. It will be changed, load your paper, and print. Here we go. And that's going to pull and print out. I'm sorry, y'all probably didn't hear anything I said because my microphone was over yonder again. Let's see. I'm with you, Shakia. Workforce 2 because I haven't printed with my 2760 in a while, and now I can't get rid of the banding lines, and I have printed a bunch of purge files. Too much of a headache for me. Rose color, it's going to blend into the background because it is a rose colored one, so it really is kind of pointless. I just needed to do black on it. When you first started sublimation, did someone tell you about the printer profile, or did you research that information? I don't think that type of information would have crossed my mind. Well, I'm not going to say for sublimation. I understood about printer profiles just from printing in general, and knowing about the different inks. So how I got into printing my own sublimation was because I did a video talking about the differences between them. So I used pigment. I was always a pigment ink person. Once I learned about pigment ink, I'm like, why does anyone ever use dye ink? But there are needs for it. It actually works better for for pictures because of the way the ink is made, and for screen print transparencies, there is a really good, in some industries, it's best to use dye ink. But I did a video talking about the differences in them and then sublimation. So in research for sublimation, just understanding the way the inks work. I never printed in-house. I always had prints made for me. So I never had to really think about the whole printer profiles and all of that, all those different things. I was invited to a group, and that meant me, because I'm a teacher and people come for other stuff, I ended up getting my first printer. And I will say that I listened because I never had to actually print it. I understood what sublimation was. I knew that there was a special ink. But when it came to converting the printers, I did not realize so much of those different things. But I knew that there would be a difference with converting them because at least when they start using eco tanks, I knew that the ink that most vendors use, because I was using Cobra ink before I went to a different company. Now I have my own ink. So I understood that most sublimation ink is meant to match the color profile of a pigment ink printer. I know the difference between pigment ink and dye inks. The colors are different. So as I kind of got into it, I did go off of what other people said. It wasn't until I really, really got into it, and me being the professor and me being the researcher that I am, and me just being the tester that I am, I went through a lot of different testing to bring accurate information to just the sublimation industry and the community as a whole. And then once I got my own ink and I tested out several inks and saw how they operate, yeah, that's been my mission, is to truly educate people on how inks work. So I went by people who did not know what they were talking about, and they were just regurgitating what they heard before, or things like that. But I have not just researched as far as looking for information. I have tested and tested and tested and tested and tested and tested again and tested again. So my research is true research. All right, so this is all done. We're going to take this over to the heat press. And again, this is the regular sublimation ink. Sublimation paper, not the tacky one. And okay. I'm going to have to switch this out. There's a little bit of ink on there. Actually, I really don't. I'm going to just fold it in half because this will fit on there. So I'm just going to fold that in half. We're going to open this up. And yeah, it was just the one side that was attached in there. I don't have to worry about taping off my zipper, because there's no ink, like it's not a full bleed. You still want to do a pre-press. It's going to help flatten it out, but it's also going to make sure that my my pressure is accurate. So if you can always do a pre-press, just remember to do the pre-press. It can help. So we're just going to go like that. So that pressure is pretty good. It's also going to help flatten it out. Oh, this one is one that's kind of weird. It kind of rippled, maybe because it's just been sitting here for a while, or that was like a not long enough pre-press. All right, I'm going to place this. I'm going to look at where my take is, and actually I'm going to go off of this one, and I'm going to center this on this side. The one thing about this is there was no indicator of where everything goes. So I have to kind of eyeball it. And then I'm looking at take notes. And we're going to put that there, which I'm going to leave it just like this. I have this perfect. I'm not going to take this down or anything. It's not a full bleed, so I'm not worried about it being on the edges. This is perfect where it is. So I'm not going to chest fade. We're just going to slide this bad boy. Oh, wait, you know what? It might hit the top. So I am going to tape it down, but I'm not going to re-flip it over. I'm just going to tape it down. More so just this side, so that that part doesn't catch the heat press. So see, now it'll go in without it moving. 30 seconds. So while that's going, like I said, we do have a wide variety of heat tapes on our website. Having the right size heat tape is essential. Like I said, if you use a thin heat tape, it's going to just peel off. We have 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4 inch, and 6 inches. I literally use all of them. Next week, I will be doing a tutorial on these stainless steel tumblers from Glow's Custom Creations. And you're going to see me use my 6 inch heat tape to do a full wrap. Now, she does send a, oh, what else I got in there, girl? Oh, a bottom. But she has the shrink wrap. I'm not a fan of shrink wrap, like not from any company. I prefer to just tape it. So that's done. And now you're going to see, like, it may want to stick to it. So it didn't stick at all, like really to this one. We're going to peel it up. Ooh, this one wasn't the same like the other one. It didn't take the black as well. Or the color on this really affected the way the black kind of shows. And I was off a little bit. I was too far over. And I figured as much too. Because this, when I designed it, it was supposed to be right up against this. So it either moved or I didn't put it down far enough. But there's that. But putting the whole thing down, the whole thing is smooth. There is a little ripple. It's not as bad as the first time once I pressed it for the full time. I think because I kind of pressed it and then took it up, I created a ripple there. I'm kind of mad at myself now. Dang it. I hate when stuff is messed up. But I should have known better because I designed, when I put it on there, the word take is right here to the end and then over. When I was looking at this, I should have made sure that it was down and over. But that's that. Oh, I'm mad at myself about that one. Oh, that so sucks. I'm going to beat myself up about that one. No, I've never done a tutorial for brochures for menus. Oh my gosh. My video is premiering right now and I have missed the entire thing. It is a great video. Y'all, I got to go. I wasn't supposed to be on here till 6 o'clock. Head on over to SILAHOLICS Anonymous. There is a video premiering right now, like right now. Oh my gosh, I looked at the time. It's a 30-minute video. We've missed 15 minutes of. There is a video. Oh gosh, hold on. Wait a minute. We're gonna back up and premiering now. I'm gonna show you what the video is. Hold on. Oh gosh, I'm gonna move this over here and share screen. Oh gosh, I would skip my own ad. I got a whole video about DXF and SVG. Y'all, leave this video. I'm going to share the link. Go over to the video. I completely didn't realize it's 6 o'clock. I'm supposed to be on here answering questions. Oh my gosh. So, yeah, head on over to the next video. All right, guys, until next time, have a great one. Thank you guys so very much for watching. Visit our website, shop.silaholics.com, and go watch this video. Until next time, have a great one. Be incredible. Peace.